Let's listen to that S54. Oh. This is the best car that I've ever driven. Oh my lord. Oh my god. I'm a menace to society. I mean, I care about the car more than I do myself. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we have my BMW 135i here out on a beautiful mountain pass. We're going to be going all the way up there, around that, down into the valley. But as we stand here and have a look at the car, exactly what makes a 135i so appealing to a lot of people? Well, firstly, it is a short wheelbase car. This is roughly the same size as an E46 M3, which is kind of crazy to say. But it's also what's in front of this car. Now, if you're looking at a later model, you're looking at an N55. If you're looking at a older model, well, a newer model, N55, an older model, the N54, which is what I've got in here. Now, the N54 scares some people because it's not an easy engine to maintain. It's got a few kinks here and there that you need to deal with. The reality is that the injectors that come with the N54 need to be replaced before they kill the engine. The boost pipe that comes stock with these cars isn't powerful enough to take care of all the boost that this car builds with its twin turbos that are mounted to this inline six. So there's preventative maintenance that needs to be done, and if you're buying a pre-owned car, there's even more preventative maintenance, or even just maintenance in the first place, because you don't know what someone's done to the car before you buy it. They might tell you one thing, but another thing's been done. My car has had very little done to it other than preventative maintenance. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to open up the hood of this car. Right, now opening up this beautiful N54, we can see that if we look down over here, we can see that this is an aluminium charge pipe. That is plastic, I believe, as standard. Who in their right minds of BMW thought plastic would be good enough to hold the boost that comes from a twin-turboed inline six? I don't know. But I guess that's not what they had in mind. And who knows what happens with the injectors. I'm sure there are people that do know. I don't know. All I know is you need to replace them before they kill the engine. So there's that. What else you might ask? Well, it's an N54. It's probably going to overheat. So it's important that while you're looking after these cars, you go ahead and you make sure that you replace every single cooling line, fuel line, almost every hose and pipe that is in that engine bay to silicon or better than what comes OEM, because they go wrong. Now, what else you might want to do? You might want to add an intercooler. That is what I'm going to do to my car. I'm going to add an intercooler onto it, just to aid with the cooling. These cars, they do get hot. It's just the reality of an N54. They run hot. And whether you've got the N54 and a 335i, or 335IS, or 1M, or 135IS, it's going to have cooling issues at some point or another. So it's important to take care of your car and do all the preventative maintenance to avoid having these issues down the line. This is not a car, or it's not an engine that you can buy and immediately go. You know, it's not the M series from BMW. This was a new series, being the N, and it had a few kinks that you needed to work out. As for the suspension, this is another thing that you'll need to upgrade. All the bushings and the control arms you're going to want to take from an E92 M3 and you're going to want to throw it into this car. This car as standard has a little bit too much body roll, a little bit too much softness as you're driving it. You're going to want to change these things to get the most out of your car, to create a true BMW experience. And it's not that the base one isn't, but there are things that it lacks, that doing these modifications that I've explained will make a massive difference. So now let's hop in and take a drive up this wonderful mountain pass. Now, before I start up the car, another thing I should mention that's been done to this car is I have fitted downpipes to it. So it's nice and loud. But it sounds really nice with these downpipes, I must admit. I was not expecting my car to sound as nice as it does with these downpipes. But let's go ahead and turn the car on. The car is warm, also has a service light, but typical BMW fashion, I guess. So the car is warm so you don't get a mean cold start, but as we roll off here, you will hear it. So we're going to pop the car over into sport, and it sounds really good. Just going to roll up the window as we have a sunroof in this car, so all the noise from this car is going to be coming through that sunroof. So we are going to be taking it slightly easy today because there are other cars on the road, there's cyclists, there are runners as we just saw. But listen to that. Oh, it's really nice. And the thing is, once you change those control arms and the bushings, this car, it leans into the corners with you. I find myself feeling too confident in this car. Now, these cars could have come spec'd with a manual. I have the Steptronic gearbox in mind. I would ultimately like to fit a DCT to this car. I think that would be a really nice quality of life upgrade. But yeah, for now we have the Steptronic gearbox in here and it does the job. What we are going to do actually is I'm going to put the window down a little bit so we can hear some more. Oh, listen to that. Now, I've done this pass only in Renault Megane RSs. I've never done it in a BMW, and this is a slightly bigger car, so it's a little bit daunting being on these narrow roads with the slightly bigger car. But oh my goodness, it sounds good. That sounds so good. So one thing about this car, and it's a key word that I always use with this car when I speak to people about it, and it's this car does everything you ask of it effortlessly. It barely puts in the effort to do what you need. Accelerating through those corners, the car isn't working hard at all. It doesn't need to. It has all the power you need, and it has the cornering capability. And as I was walking around the car, I don't know if you saw, but the car has really big Brembo brakes on it. They are BMW branded, but I'm pretty sure they're Brembo brakes. I could be wrong, but they're really big sports brakes, and they slow this car down. On these roads, this car feels more than capable. I'm a little bit nervous pushing the car, I will be honest. I've never done this road in this car, and this is a lot more technical than the other roads I've done in this car. Oh, it really sounds good. This is a really nice car. And the thing is, you can go do a mountain pass like this and take your 135i and go ahead and take it to work. It's a very daily drivable car, and especially with the automatic, you won't ever stress about traffic, you know, sitting there holding the clutch, which I think anyone who's owned a manual will know can be quite annoying. Oh, that sounds good. So driving the other cars that I've driven through on my straight piped RB8, I don't know if it sounded as good as this does. That sounds really nice. I'm actually genuinely surprised at how nice this car sounds. I haven't taken it to a place like this with the downpipes. Oh, that sounds so good. Okay, we're gonna have to put this window down a little bit, and maybe that one. And we're gonna downshift. And the minute we have a little bit of a clear road, we'll... Oh, and you can hear the turbo spooling and through the exhaust with those downpipes fitted. That is so nice. I don't want to hit that, sorry, cutting the lines. Oh, that sounds incredible. Ooh, water. I don't know what it is, but this car sounds incredible. Well, I do know what it is. It's exhaust. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is reigniting my love for this car. This is my first sports car that I've ever owned. And I'm very lucky to have had an N54 that has relatively little problems. But hearing it echo through these canyons just... it pushes that love for this car. Oh, it reminds me why this is such a great platform. And the short wheelbase, I mean, it's incredible. Oh, yeah, my RB8 doesn't sound as nice as this does through these canyons, and I love the way that RB8 sounds. But this here, It seriously sounds like a racing car going through here. Oh. Hearing this car accelerate is something special. Oh, that is special. Gosh, these roads feel so much tighter in this car. I must say, like, obviously it's bigger than having a hot hatch, and you do feel it. Oh my lord! Oh. Wow. Just wow. I cannot believe that. This car sounds so good. Second, third gear is all you need through here. Mainly second, to be honest, and when you get to the higher RPMs in second, you really hear this car. This car is so much fun. Wow. I mean, seriously, if you're considering a dual sports car that looks good, drives good, and sounds good, I mean, it's hard to beat this N54. Now, when you look at an N54, I really need you to have a good understanding of what you're wanting from a car, because they can give issues. This car for the longest time was throwing up a check engine light. What was it? O2 sensors. It happens. Things like this happen, especially to a car that is now 16 years old. So if you're looking for more reliability, go buy yourself an N55 with the same platform, do the control arms and bushings, and you'll have a very similar experience. But if you're wanting that performance, get an N54, do your research on how to maintain an N54 properly. I've seen a lot of people say if you could turn a wrench, you'll be perfectly fine with this car. And to a certain degree, I agree, because there are certain things that this car will do that you need to fix. I mean, spark plugs, easy. Well, spark plugs, they're fuel injectors. Fuel injectors, easy. It's not a hard job to do. The boost pipe. You can definitely do the boost pipe. The downpipe's a little bit harder. I will admit, you're gonna need to get the car up on a ramp of some sort. Now, I've gone through a few things that go wrong with the car mechanically. Shall we talk about the interior? So people have, I believe, spoken about the door inserts. The windows go wrong over time. I've never had that with this car. My car has just over 104,000 kilometers on the clock. We are nearing 105,000. We might hit that on the way back home today. So I'm at about 105,000 on the clock. I've never encountered that issue. The interior, it had a few things that needed to be replaced. This here. So in some of the models you could have spec'd with an infotainment system up here. Mine did not. It has a little storage bin here. But this doesn't always work very well. This button tends to go mushy after a while, and the actual mechanism just doesn't work. So that is something to keep in mind. Aircon works fantastic. And if you're getting a manual, you won't have to worry about this, but you will take some adjusting to BMW's silly Steptronic gearbox here. So you push this in, this right here, and this one, doesn't matter, they work exactly the same. You push it in to go down a gear, and you pull it towards you to go up a gear. So you can do it one-handed all the time, basically. But these here don't work in conjunction. You think this this left paddle shifter would drop you down a gear. It doesn't. Watch. I'm going to pull it towards me. It shifted me up into fourth gear. So what we do is we're going to hit this one, push it away, into third. And it's the same over here. Shift, fourth, push, and we're into third. So it's important to remember that with these cars, is that it will take a learning period to actually, you know, get used to these paddle shifters, because they're a little bit counterintuitive, to be honest with you. And I believe Porsche also did something similar. I believe theirs was on the steering wheel over here. I mean, that's a bit weird to me. But just to show you how incredible this car is, we're going to shift down to second, and we're just going to... should have put the windows up for that. But it's an incredible car, it really is. So some brands, their parts become very hard to get. That is not the case with BMW, at least my experience. My family have had connections at our local BMW dealership that are really good at getting parts, and then we are also quite resourceful when it comes to finding parts online, and that's what you need to be. You need to have a good contact and you need to find parts online. It'll make your life so much easier in owning a car like this, where things will go wrong from time to time, and you need to be prepared for that. It's not a bulletproof engine. It's not an M52, you know, or an M54. It's the N. It is the one with the turbos. You need to be ready for what this car can bring, because it brings a lot. It brings a lot of good and it brings some bad. But no car is perfect, and if you're willing to deal with that, you've got an awesome car on your hands. So we're going to lower the windows again and send it through this mountain pass once more. Shifting from second to third, I can feel traction slipping ever so slightly, but we've got traction control on, so I can hear it pulling everything together. That's why I do not want to turn traction control off on this road. This car is... oh, it's such a lovely car. I've said it so many times now, but I adore this car. I love it. It's really so nice. Alright. I'm not speechless after that drive in this car. I am astonished at how incredible this sounds. And it's a small car. It's not big. I mean, it does everything you need of it. It really does. Again, it's not a big car, it's fairly small, and let's listen to that typical BMW like ticking noise after you've driven your car hard. I do really love this car. I think it's so fantastic, and I really do recommend trying one. Even if you don't want to own one, try it. I don't think it will disappoint you. I really think that a car like this is something that will add to an experience of being a petrolhead. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. There's going to be lots more on the way. The RB8 is nearly back up and running. Z4M, well, my Z4M, nowhere near to be found. But that black Z4M Roadster that we reviewed, that will be back on the channel soon. But for now, I'm just so happy that we got to experience this car on this road. I do hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one on another mountain pass, I guess. Cheers.